this place where I was like, I have so much anxiety. This isn't normal. Like, I need
Yeah.
to figure out where this anxiety is coming
What
from.
what did it really
Mhm.
look like? Was there just a lot of anxiety,
Mm.
stress, depression, etc., whatever it may look like?
Yes, 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 yes. So with the burnout, there was no vision, but there was also there was a lot of anxiety, which paired with a lot of sleepless nights. So I wasn't getting, and then that was just a cycle. Like if you don't get sleep, then you don't get replenished, and then your emotions are out of whack. And so it just was. I felt like I was a big hot mess.
That's okay.
um, a pastor, a full time pastor. I pastored for 14 years, children's ministry for 14 years. I I felt like it was almost embarrassing that I was going through this and that I couldn't get a handle on it. And so that's why I needed to take a break. And I think I got to this place where I was like, I have so much anxiety. This isn't normal. Like, I need
Yeah.
to figure out where this anxiety is coming from.
Yeah, it was probably really hard and really difficult to get through that. How did you specifically get through those things? And did this happen during the sabbatical? You went to a health coach. When did all that happen? Did that happen after? Did that happen like
Yeah.
during?
The first thing that I did was I did a SOZO. I don't know if you're familiar with SOZOs, but
Very, very
it's inner
little, very
healing.
little. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sozo is the Greek word for saved, healed, and delivered. And so there's you can go online and you can find Sozos. One of our my friends at Bethesda, they have a Sozo, and so I signed up for one. And what it does is it really goes to the root issue of um, what is kind of bogging you down, or what is kind of like what has a hold on your life. And I knew that anxiety was crippling me at this point, and I was having a hard time making decisions. And I didn't have vision. I didn't have life. I was pretty depressed. And so I was like, this is not the life that God intended us to lead. So I want to get to the root of this. So I did the Sozo, and it's really just inner healing. And you have a couple people just pray over you and invite the Holy Spirit to guide the conversation and to ask questions and ask, like where maybe there was an open door to the enemy. And so the open door for me was fear. And I realized I had a fear of not being good enough, a fear of making mistakes. And so
Mm,
in that was just the beginning of God uncovering what was going on. And so I think too, just ending an engagement and like everybody seeing it not work out. And I'm like, at this point, I'm 38. And so ending
yeah.
an engagement at 38 is just like marital suicide. It's like you should be married at my age. And so I felt like I like totally made like everyone was watching me just like mess up my life. Like
Mm,
obviously the enemy makes things worse than what it really is. And I realized I was like, I have such a huge fear of making mistakes, and like that's not normal. And
mm,
God doesn't want us to live in fear. So that was the through this though I learned that God is a God who loves us regardless. It's unconditional love, and we can make mistakes and he will help us through those mistakes. But I don't
mm.
know, for some reason I felt like I couldn't make mistakes.
Was it a part of just you being a pastor that kind of gave you all of that pressure?
I think it was some of it, but it was yeah, there's of course there's like you can get to a performance mentality and I gotta measure up and I gotta
Mm,
but I think it was something inside of me that I needed to get freedom from. And so
mm,
fast forward, I did this sabbatical and just really spent time with God and really learned how to rest. I didn't know how to rest. I really did not know how to rest. I really did not know how to unplug. I remember there were times when I'd be in Spain and I would literally go down to the beach and I would sleep all day. I didn't realize how tired I was, how
wow,
exhausted
wow.
I was. And so, but it took a minute to unplug. I was just like, well, if Christmas is going on, I got to check in with everybody to see how everything's going. And I always felt like I needed to make sure everything ran well. And
Mm,
but it was like no, I in this moment, I don't need to pastor. In this moment, I couldn't even evangelize. I didn't know Spanish. I felt like God did that on purpose because I always felt this pull to like, I got to save as many people as possible. So I'm like, I
Mm,
literally had to learn. God showed me how to unplug and just find my enjoyment in Him and creation um and just rest. And for
yeah.
some reason, being in ministry, I didn't think that we should rest. There was just too much work to be done and too many souls to be saved, is kind of
Mm,
how I felt.